Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about if you only have to read 5 books this entire year, you need to read these 5 books. First of all, we are going to talk about Going Under by John Madinger. This book pulls you into the upside down world of working undercover. This is a world where cops can be crooks and crooks can be cops. Madinger takes us through 2 decades of working undercover. Here he goes in and shows us how he navigated kidnappings, how he navigated drug conspiracies, how he encounters hustlers and celebrities and even presidents. Going Under has won multiple nonfiction awards. Going Under was a first place winner of the 2022 PSWA writing competition for the nonfiction category, and it was a 2023 Silver Falchion Award finalist for Best Nonfiction. These are big awards, so this is amazing. Something that I really enjoyed about this book is not only that it is well written, that you will see is something that all of these books have, and is one of the things that I enjoyed most of all of these books was the fact that it is really well written. Just because I strongly believe that if you have a good story but you do not tell it well, it's only a good story for you. You need to pull people in and you need to explain it and tell it in a really good and captivating way for people to emotionally understand how you understand it. And I just feel these authors did it in a really, really well way. A part of the fact that it's really well written that I enjoyed about this book is the fact that it gives you an unfiltered look at the dangers, the deception, and the double lives lived in America's drug war. So the next book is Tylenol Murders by Joseph Sibeli. This book is really, really good. It is all about the chilling true story of the Tylenol murders that took place in America in 1982. Several lives were lost, and the worst part of all, I could say, is the fact that the killer hid in plain sight. So, Joseph Sibeli is the son of the man who committed these crimes. His father, Joseph Sibeli's father, only confessed to these crimes with his last breath. So he was on his deathbed when this happened. And now all of a sudden you hear of this and you just, what do you do with this information? Joseph Sibeli decided this needs to come out. This truth needs to be told and it will not be covered again. This book is just such a raw memoir and it just shows you the fight that Joseph Sibeli had to expose his father's truth. Just some quotes out of the book that was amazing. My father was not only a complex man, he was a dark man. His shadow was not chance or mistake. He engineered it, he weaponized it, he designed pain with precision. He walked corridors of cruelty. The other part that I really liked about this book was this book is the reckoning. This book is the closure. This book is the confrontation. I tell it not because I wish to, but because I must. Some truths demand air. Some truths, once unearthed, cannot be buried again. How good does that not sound? It was so well written, and only those 2 quotes that I just read really makes me wonder. In this moment when his father confessed, how did he go from I heard this confession to I'm going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? And it was just, I just think the whole way he went about the situation not only took so much courage, but it was a journey, and I'm so glad that he shared it with us and in this amazing book in this amazing way. So I definitely recommend it. Book number 3 is Where Murder Lies by Bill Bearer and Frank C. Girardo. This book is all about an investigation of a 2004 murder of a retired Los Angeles teacher. This investigation led to a very speedy arrest of a shy, special needs teenager, Jimmy Kittless, who had no criminal record at all. Then, 20 years later, a woman named Kelly Lee contacted Bill Bearer and Frank C. Girardo, and she asked them to look into this case because she believed that something much deeper was hiding under the speedy arrest. And she was right. So at the end of the day, not only were connections with the American mafia and the Russian mob revealed during this investigation, 3 people saw the teacher alive lost. 2 of them had motive to kill the teacher. Not one of them was Jimmy Kittless. So not only did the investigation lead to revealing these role players, the American mafia and the Russian mob. But they also realized that the American mafia and the Russian mob was working together to defraud the American government with billions of dollars. So the plot twist in this book was just crazy, because it starts off with an investigation of a murder, and then Kelly Lee was like, okay, but something was wrong with this speedy conviction. And then this investigation leads to so much more things that you couldn't even think a murder of a teacher could be linked to. Not only was it well written, but the plot twist in this book was crazy, and you just never see it coming. It was really good. Book number 4 is Empire City Under Siege by Anthony John Nelson and Greg Maguire. I've talked about this book so many times before, but it is just so good. Empire City Under Siege reveals 3 decades of FBI work. Anthony John Nelson is a supervisory special agent at the FBI, and he just goes and tells the story of his colleagues that he's worked with that was involved in shootouts, in organized crime takedowns, in kidnapping negotiations, in high stake investigations. And it even goes on to tell the story of how they worked on cases where Picasso art was stolen. Nelson doesn't go and takes the glory for his work. He shines the light on all the heroes he worked with. When you read this book, it just feels like you're sitting at a coffee table and you're just talking to Nelson and to his colleagues and just hearing about all the things they faced. Something that I also really enjoyed is the fact that it was over such a long period of time. It just feels like you're getting to know them and know their story, and that is something that I just truly enjoy. It just feels like it can come right out of a movie, but in the end of the day, it's real, and that makes it so much better. So yeah, definitely recommend. The last book is Model Detective by Michelle Wood. This book was recently released and it got so many good reviews, and it just got a lot of good feedback even on social media. People in the comments were like, they saw on the news, she was on the news, which is very cool. They just gave such good feedback when it came to the book. I remember there was a comment on social media, I think 2 weeks after the book was launched, more or less, and it was like, I read the book and it was amazing. I was like, oh my goodness. The fact that people already read the book was like mind-blowing to me. So Model Detective takes you into the life of Sergeant Michelle Wood. She is a trailblazing Chicago homicide detective who proves that grit and instinct doesn't know gender. She has made hundreds of arrests, and not only that, she has an amazing record of solving homicide cases. In this book, Wood reveals how her perspective as a woman helped her to be so successful in a male-dominated world. She has such a unique path when it comes to her career. She starts off as a flight attendant, and then she goes on to become a model in a fitness magazine. And then she ends up as a homicide detective in Chicago's police department. She is nationally known as a true crime expert, and she has appeared on multiple national true crime stories. One of them was ABC's 2020. This memoir is so good because it just gives you a raw and honest insight of the inspiring story of how Michelle Wood made such a success of her detective career in one of America's most dangerous cities. Something I really enjoyed about this book is the fact that it just breaks down the stereotype completely. Not only is it showing you can still have style, you can still look beautiful and be girly and like girly things and like fashion, like dressing up, and still be a detective and still work in an environment, in a male dominated environment. And it was just such a fun book to read, and it's just so inspiring. And I don't even think it's not only inspiring to women who works in different careers, but especially women who wants to go into a male dominated field and still enjoy being a girl and still be good, and not only good but extremely good in your job. So I just think the way the stereotype was broken was amazing. I just think it is something so fresh and so new to the true crime genre. I have not seen something like this before. I got a comment on one of the videos a while back, and what I thought would be a fun thing to do on the channel, I'm going to choose a comment of the week. So if you watch the video and you have an opinion about the book, if you have read it, if you have a question about the book, I'm going to choose one comment and either answer the question to the best of my ability, or I'm going to choose a comment that just really stood out for me. This comment made my day. This person's brother tried to convince him to actually read the book. But at the end of the day, he was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to read it now because you really convinced me. I really enjoyed reading it. Thank you for leaving the comments. I'm going to end off the video. So if you have any opinions or questions, or if you have read the book, let us know in the comments down below. I'll either answer you in the comment section, or you'll maybe be the next comment of the week. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. So yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and then I'll tell you all about it.